McTOMINAY decides it for Scotland. He drinks iron brew and he's from Glasgow. Sorry, he's not even from Glasgow. But yeah, welcome to Roma Theory. I hope your day is continuing on the right path. Mourinho demands Scott McTominay from Man United. We'll discuss this today because this is something interesting to talk about. Do I think McTominay is a valid option? Would I take Scott McTominay? I have to be honest with you, what the English media say around him, in my opinion, is not 100% accurate. And the answer is yes. Obviously, I'd rather other players, but I do think he's one of those gambles which, just like Smalling, if it happens and if it succeeds and if it goes well and if the manager wants him, which is the most important thing, if Mourinho says, get me McTominay, and we get McTominay, and McTominay even does half of the things Smalling has done from his move to Man United to Roma, we're in a great position. I do think this is a gamble which we have to maybe be kind of courageous and brave enough to make. Scottish player, plays for the Scottish national team. He's a Man United player. Man United hate him. Man United don't like him. Man United don't like him and Fred. This midfield duo is not in Man United's plans, and he's a player which Mourinho grew back when he was a Man United manager. He's a player which Mourinho knows really, really well, and there's rumours saying that he has been demanded by your manager. First things first, if a manager wants a player, Thiago Pinto can't hesitate. Obviously, there's limits to everything, but I don't think McTominay has many limits. We could get McTominay, and if Jose wants him, it means he's studied this. If Jose wants this, he knows, and we know, that he should get what he wants and what he asks for. Because if he asks for Scott McTominay, then he's studied all the options, and he knows how to fit him in this system, and in this Roma system of play. And yeah, he's hated by Man United because he's not good enough. But he's a classic player which has been destroyed by English media. Look at Smalling. Man United didn't like him. They sold him. English media completely, utterly tried to destroy his career. Came at Roma. He is, after Dybala, the most important and vital player in our starting 11. If the same happens to McTominay, I can only just wish for a player like him if he plays well. If you see what I mean. So, yeah, I mean, I think he's been a bit demoralized by English newspapers, by English pundits. And that's, England is very famous for that. So, I think he needs another chance away from England, away from English fans, away from English media, and away from English pundits. And I think the Italian league, maybe the Spanish league or the German league as well, is suitable for him. Because if you look at his national team performances with Scotland, he is clearly and by far been the best team in that Scottish national team. The best two players are him and Robertson from Liverpool. But in terms of how they've played for the Scottish national team and the way they've been playing, McTominay's up there. He's a different player when he plays for Scotland than when he plays for Man United. Why is that? Because he feels less pressure. So, look, do we need a player with these characteristics? Meaning, holding / box-to-box mid, who not only is good at defending, but is good at creating chances and scoring goals? That's exactly what we need. We don't need a completely defensive midfielder, because we already have Matic, Cristante, and Bove kind of does that as well. And we don't need a completely, fully offensive midfielder, because we have Dybala, Pellegrini, and Aouar to do that. We need an in-between. We need a Henrik Mkhitaryan. We need a transition player, which brings in transitions, good movements from the defense to the attack. Can Scott McTominay be one of them? Yes, he can. Will Scott McTominay be one of them? Who knows? Mourinho's demanded him. As we mentioned yesterday, he's somebody which has been inserted in our list. He's not the only one in our list. There are a lot of midfielders which Thiago Pinto is kind of talking with Mourinho and evaluating after Frattesi disappeared and vanished away to Inter. Sabitzer, McTominay, Renato Sanchez, obviously. There were a few weeks ago, there were rumours of Fred. And yeah, so we've got a lot of names. He's not the only one. But I truly believe that if the manager wants him, and if the manager is the one to ask for a player, obviously you got to back the manager. Because at the end of the day, it's not Thiago Pinto who puts the starting 11 on a pitch. It's Jose Mourinho. So if Mourinho retains Scott McTominay as the key to the transition to the box-to-box holding midfield, then it has to be him. And look, I mean, let me know your opinions in the comments down below, because I know that there are going to be a lot of Premier League fans underneath and watching this video which are going to not like him. But I advise, and I want everybody here, maybe, yeah, obviously I'm not here to change your opinion. Everybody has their own opinions. But we've seen this with Smalling. And we've seen this with many other players, like Matic. I don't remember one Man United fan which didn't criticize Matic last season because he was too slow, because he didn't fulfill Premier League criteria and Premier League standards. He wasn't good enough to maintain Premier League rhythms. He came at Roma and he has been the revolution of our midfield. So why can't McTominay be one of them? Why can't McTominay follow a very similar path to these players? He's young. He's not, he's, in terms of age and prospects, he's even better than Matic because he's younger. So I think evaluations are going to take place. I don't mind him. In fact, I'd probably say that out of all the options which I'm reading about, he's one of my candidates. He's one of my favorites. He's not the top, but he's not the lowest. He's in the higher middle, I would say. Another reason of why he could join us and do well is because, obviously, apart from knowing the manager well, he's got Smalling, he's got Tammy, who's English, he's got Matic, who's coming from Man United. So we have a lot of ex-Premier League players who have the kind of transition from the Premier League to the Serie A. A lot of these players have succeeded. Tammy has succeeded in the first year he came. Matic succeeded in the first year he came. Smalling, up to now, has been one of the most important players in this team. So a lot of players can be the mediators and help him to make this jump, which is, some people would say, a jump down. And in terms of quality, obviously it is. Premier League is better than the Serie A. But if you're not a Premier League style player, if you have been kind of outclashed by English fans, try new experience. I know Brighton are interested in him and Newcastle are interested in him too. Obviously, these are two teams which are in a better financial position than us. But if I were McTominay, I would look overseas. I would look for an overseas experience to then maybe be a step back to the Premier League. Because obviously he is a player from the United Kingdom. United Kingdom players normally tend to play in the Premier League. So maybe this can be a step back to regain the faith of not just Man United fans, but Premier League fans out there. So, look, I would definitely not be mad. As I said yesterday, my dream would be to get 2 midfielders and 2 strikers. That is hard and it's going to take a lot of effort, but never say never. I definitely think if we were to prioritize getting 2 strikers or 2 midfielders, we definitely have to prioritize getting 2 strikers. I really hope we get 2 strikers. Because, yeah, if we have McTominay, Pellegrini, Bove, Matic, Cristante, and all of these players, we would have a good selection, and that does improve squad depth. And maybe if we can add yet another player, maybe after McTominay, with McTominay, I think it would be great. But yeah, let me know what you think. I'm gonna catch you soon. If you haven't already, smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, and let me know in the comments down below your thoughts and opinions on Scott McTominay, the Scottish legend, potentially coming to Roma because Jose Mourinho has demanded him. I'll catch you soon. See you out.